very good morning to everyone. Welcome to Global Online. And yes, as you all are aware that we have already started our preparation for June 2023 batches. That is the examination to be lined up in June 2023, wherein we have started with our first unit, that is teaching aptitude. And this is the 8th lecture. All the lectures before this, that is all the 7 lectures in description box you will get the link so that you can accordingly prepare for your upcoming examination. At the same time, the lecture today we are going to do is on ecological system theory in education, in teaching, and we are going to do types of memory in teaching. So let's start the session for the day. So before we start a session, quickly announcement regarding the product, that is, regarding the offer which Global Online has brought up for you all. As you all know that June 2023 is just not too far away, and in order to prepare yourself best for your upcoming examination, you will be getting an assistance from us in the form of crash course, especially for June 2023 batch. The highlight of this crash course is daily live lectures, which will be not only in English but also in Hindi. You will be getting full syllabus notes, which will be in the PDF format. You will be getting 60 plus mock tests, 2000 plus MCQs as the practice question. All this you will get at a cost of rupees 2,400. Actually, the price for this particular course is 4,000, but right now we are giving a 40% off, so this will be for 2,400. You can get this course at the Global Online app. You can check at the Global Online app even the demo sessions which are in English and Hindi. The contact details are given. If you have any difficulty or obstacle, you can please get in touch with the help of these contact details, and we will be in touch with you. So now, basically, yes, this is all what we have for you all for coming session, that is for June 2023. Now let's start the session very well. Before we start the session, yesterday, if you remember, I have taken you to a concept, that is I have shown you modern teaching models, okay, modern teaching methods, where we did 4 modules based information process, okay. We have started with 4 models, and we have also taken a small question, that is individual, cognitive, social, as well as behavioral model. Today we are going to see something different in the form of ecological system theory as well as types of memory. Okay, so let's quickly start with this. So if you can see this diagram, this diagram basically is talking about what? It is talking about your ecological system, that is educational ecological system. Now if you look at these diagram, you can see at the center, that is, we have 3 systems. One is the macro, another is exosystem, that is also called exosystem. We will be taking this in the different format, and we have microsystem. So what is this this particular diagrammatic representation is? It is nothing but it is ecological theory. Who has given this theory? That is given by Uri Bornfebrenner, has given this particular theory, and this has created a development. So this theory is basically a development of context, or development of ecological social system. Now what is this ecological social system? What exactly it consists of? All we are going to see one by one. Okay, now first, if you talk about the very first thing which you can see is consisting of what? You can see I have given macro system, where you have the macro environmental factors, that is called as the political system, the culture, the nationality, the society, and the economics. We have exosystem, which talks about the school, the health agencies, the mass media, commodity. Microsystem, which we take into consideration the classroom, the religion, and the peers. Okay, so now let's understand. So as I said, this diagram is a simple depiction of ecological system theory. So this diagram is nothing but it is talking about what? Ecological system. Okay, now let's go one by one. So as I said, you have faced what? The first thing what you saw was the macro system. So when I say macro system, it is something which is, which has a larger context or social structure. So as I made you understand, This context or social structure involves what? So it involves cultural values and expectations within which the lower system, that is family or the school, is nested. So this macro system, does it plays an important role in education? Yes, it plays an important role in education, in teaching, learning, because it consists of the cultural values and expectations. Now, when we go a little bit ahead, okay, that is from one generation to next, the system changes. Obviously, the cultural parameters, the values, the expectation changes. So the value system of the children of first generation, that is immigrants. So when we talk about this cultural system, which is passed on from one generation to another, has, yes, does it has changed? Yes, it has changed. Okay. Then when we move ahead, we get a second arena, that is exosystem. Now this exosystem refers to what? It refers to the relation which takes place between a micro, okay, that and the social setting. Now when I talk about this, it talks about microsystem, no? So it takes into consideration what? It takes into consideration your, social environment in which the youngsters is not present. Like for example, it is within the family, within the parents, within the siblings. So if I give you an example, a child's experience at home, it may be which influenced by the parents, okay, or by the siblings. Now here, a social setting in which child does not play an active role, but nonetheless it has an impact. That is, like for example, because of parents' workplace or parents' nature of job, the child has an impact on this, on him. So basically this exosystem, it is very related. It is related only to a specific concept, that is in the form of what? Your parents, your family. Now let's come to the microsystem. So when we talk about microsystem, so this microsystem, it brings together the influence which has a direct impact on the child's development. So that is what? In the form of the biological characteristics, the cognitive ability, which is a part of a microsystem. Not only this, your school, the family, the religious institutions, neighborhoods, peers, this plays an important role in this microsystem. Okay. Now apart from this, see, if done, the theory is sometimes referred as biological system theory. Sometimes, okay, it also is known as biological system theory. Now apart from this, we have two more systems which are definitely plays an important role in this particular ecological system. So if you see macro system, so you may ask me that does it goes beyond macro system? Yes, beyond macro system it goes, which includes your chrono system. Now what is basically this chrono system? This chrono system is nothing but the transitions, the events which occurs in person's life. Like for example, life experience you can tell, and you can talk about social situations. If I give you an example, the consequences of divorce between the parents has a peak impact on the child. Okay, and that can lead to disturb his system, that is called as chrono. One thing which has an impact, a long lasting impact. So that is also chrono system which we have. I have written over here extra two systems very well, so that when you read the theory part, it will be very important for you. So we will see chrono system, as I said. It incorporates, that is macro, that is which goes beyond the macro. Changes occurring into the span of time, such as I have given the example over here, parental divorce. Okay, and we have one more system that is called as mesosystem. Now this mesosystem is the connections which are established between microsystem, that is your family and school experiences. So you are, so you may have a question where this mesosystem will be included. So this mesosystem is nothing but a link between your exosystem and your microsystem. So I'll take you to the diagram. It will be easier for you to remember. So microsystem and exosystem, between this also we do have a system. Yes, it is called as what? It is called as your mesosystem, which is nothing but interconnection between the family, between the child, that is the family in which the child is growing up, and between the school. So there is a connection, interconnection. Okay, so if I am telling you to remember, now let's go one by one. Once again, let's have a look. See, we have studied what? We have studied the system that is called as ecological system theory. Okay, now this ecological system theory is nothing but it is revolving around the child with respect to his, with respect to his development, which is going to play an important role in teaching, learning. Now, what this system consists of? So let's go in other way round. So if I'm saying, okay, very first phase, now I'm going in reverse way, that is from smaller circle to larger circle. So if I talk about the first thing where the child gets in connection with, that is his classroom, his peers, his religious institutions. So this is what the child is first stepping out in the environment. So that is called as a very micro level. It is restricted only to his classroom, which is restricted only to his specific peers, or it is restricted only to his specific religion group. So it is micro system. Okay, after micro system, what do we have? We have actually here in the diagrammatic presentation, we see exosystem. So exosystem talks about his school, entire school, his community, his where exactly the person gets into, the individual or the child comes into contact. Okay, very much that is in the form of what? Apart from his home. Now, here between your exosystem and microsystem, is there one step which helps the child to get this connectivity? Yes. And that step itself is called as mesosystem, which will build the connectivity between micro and exosystem. Okay, so first comes as micro, then comes as mesosystem, then comes your exosystem. Now, after your exosystem, we have seen macro system. Macro, wherein the cultural values plays an important role, and it has impact on the child, the development. So this we have, and then we have. So can we go beyond macro system? Yes. Beyond macro system, if we go, we have chrono system. Now this chrono system, it means one thing, impact of one thing which has a deep impact on the child. Like for example, I gave an example of parents' divorce. It will have, definitely it will have a transition in the child's life, and maybe even in the social situations also. So this is what we have studied under ecological system. So if I'm asking you, okay, ecological system theory consists of how many systems? I have revised with you. So yes, I can, students, those who are online, can you just revert me back? Let's just recall before we go to the next topic. What are the total number of systems which are present in ecological system theory? See, in diagram we can see certain things, but apart from diagram also I've helped you to understand certain things. So how many systems are present, okay, with respect to ecological system theory? The students, those who are online, can also please be little active and answer the question. Total number of systems which are present in an ecological system theory. So it is 1, it is 2, it is 3, it is 4, it is 5. How many systems are present? I hope you can hear me very well. Okay, so yes, if you recall, there are 5 systems. If you go from inside to outside, it is microsystem, it is mesosystem, it is exosystem, it is macro system, and it is chrono system. So there are 4 systems. There are 5 systems. We studied one by one. I'll repeat again if anyone has missed it. You can see 3 in the diagram also, and 2 we have done. That is starts with micro, pushing towards your meso, then going towards exosystem, then coming with your macro system, and then your chrono system. So there are totally 5 systems. Which is the smallest among them is a micro system. Which is the largest among them? It is macro. Don't tell me the answer as chrono, because chrono is just an impact of one specific thing in the form of what? To the child's life. So it is not, you can't say that it is, majority of the thing. Majority of the system exposure is in only in macro. Chrono, it's 1. Is it clear? Okay, so you have supporting notes for this. Yes, note students who are a part of WhatsApp group will be getting these notes for you all. Okay, now coming to the next type is your memory, types of memories. Our next topic is types of memory. Now I'm talking about types of memory in teaching learning. Okay, I hope it's very clear. Memory, types of memory, I'm talking about what? I'm talking about types of memory which is in the part of what? It is in the part of your teaching learning process. So in types of memory, I'll first explain you with this diagrammatic presentation. Okay, so memory which is divided into two parts, that is your short-term memory and your long-term memory. Okay, short-term memory, that is a very for a short span of time. Okay, long-term memory has a further division as explicit memory. Again, explicit memory is divided into episodic and semantic memory, and implicit memory which is divided into priming and procedural memory. So we will see one by one all these points very well. So you should know the diagrammatic presentation, notes are there, but let's first understand diagrammatic presentation. So diagrammatic presentation is in the form of what? Short-term and long-term memory. Short-term memory is for a shorter span of time and does not have any of the types. But long-term memory, yes, it is divided into explicit and implicit memory. Explicit, which is conscious, implicit memory which is unconscious. Explicit memory again is divided into two further types, that is episodic memory and semantic memory, whereas implicit memory is divided into priming and procedural. So let's go one by one. First, let's understand this short-term memory. So short-term memory, the first type of memory, which enables the brain, or which enables to remember a smaller amount of information, that also for a short span of time. Okay, you called this as what? This memory is nothing. So just keep in mind, this memory is called as your working memory. It's nothing but it is known as working memory, which just lasts for just seconds. Okay, it just has some seconds of impact, where we hold information in our head or brain while we engage in other cognitive process. So example also I have given you over here. Remembering the numbers a new friend recites as you navigate your phone's menu system to add a contact. Okay, just someone instantly has told you the number. You just have to, make sure that the number is remembered, and that's how the moment you store your number, the number is out from your memory. Okay. So a person's working memory capability is one of the best predictors of general intelligence. So what is your length of your shortest memory, short span of memory, and which is measured by the psychological test. You don't have to remember this much. You just have to remember that it is for a shorter span of time. Okay, it is also called as working memory, and it holds, it talks about your capability, the amount or the span which you hold the memory for. Is it clear this? So short-term memory, everyone is clear with. We do not have any types over here. We do not have any such bifurcation in short-term memory. Now let's go to long-term memory. First, let's understand what is long-term memory. So long-term memory, it is one which is divided into two parts, that is explicit memory and implicit memory. Now we will come to this one by one. We will first see explicit memory. Now what is your explicit memory? So as I said, that explicit memory is something which is conscious, deliberate recall of knowledge. So you are consciously recalling the knowledge. It's required to remember, it is a requirement to remember a social security number, okay, or which is very important part of our consciousness. Now when I talk about explicit memory in detail, here let's go. So when I talk about explicit memory, it can be, now yes, we will see the divisions later. Okay, it can be episodic, that is which is related to experience or episodes. Okay, So explicit memory can also, example I've given, I'll come one by one. Particular holiday or first time you were stung by a bee. So this is, that's something which you, a specific episode, a specific experience which you remember. Semantic memory, it relates to the facts and general knowledge, okay, which like for example I've given over here, brain has 90 billion neurons. So explicit memories are clearly affected by neurodegenerative disease such as Alzheimer's disease. So this point is not that important for you. We just have to keep in mind the memory. So I'll again explain you explicit memory very well. Explicit memory is something called as a conscious memory. Okay, now yes, sorry over here, I have just both the places I have just written the example same. I'll just delete it. I'll tell you the example very well. So yes, first let's understand explicit memory. As I said, explicit memory is conscious, is deliberate, and helps to recall the knowledge, and it is required. It is a requirement. Okay, now this explicit memory, so if you want to have an example, a specific example of explicit memory, implicit I have already mentioned, but let me take you to the explicit memory example. So when I'm talking about explicit memory, it is like, for example, when I have already told you, that is recalling your memories of events from your life, remembering the information you have learned when taking a specific test, and recollecting upcoming appointments. Okay, so this is how you remember your explicit memory. Okay, it is basically consciously you remember those points. Now explicit is divided into episodic. Now what is episodic? Episodic is basically, it is talking about what? It is talking about the series, episodes, okay, about your experiences. Whether semantic, okay, it is about general facts. Okay, so semantic memory, like for example, capital of India, okay, or rules and regulations of a specific game. So this is in the form of semantic. So I've written over here episodic, it's events that happen to you, and semantic, that is general knowledge of of any specific thing, maybe in the form of rules, regulations. Fine, let's go for implicit memory. Now implicit memory, as you can see in the diagram, okay, even if the event and the memory is where the event is basically unconscious, like it's unclear, the information is unknowingly have an impact on your behavior. So for example, 10 years old when sees the parents, so maybe like for example, it is definitely does not have to recall any specific it is basically talking about what? It is talking about unconscious way. Like example here also I've given, when you ride a bike or you play an instrument without consciously thinking about each moment. Okay, just you go on. So 10 years old when they see their parents at a specific place, it consciously comes that you don't have to track every moment or how will you react. So it is basically you will react in the very basic way. Okay, so now like for example, if the child is taking swimming lessons, so the swimming lessons, you don't have to be very conscious with each and every moment. A certain amount of moments can help you to take the swimming lessons very well. Okay, now this implicit memory, as I said, it is divided into what? It is further divided into next two types. Okay, that is called as priming and procedural. So when I talk about when I talk about priming, I have mentioned here also very well. So priming, when occurs when exposure to one stimulus influence our brain's response. Like for example, association. So we know that bread butter association is faster, okay, rather than bread doctor. So bread butter, it's an association. Priming, it means your exposure to a brain in unconscious mind. So bread like butter, we know this relation very well. Whereas procedural, if I talk about, okay, when I'm talking about procedural, it is about about your skills, motor skills, that is swimming, driving a car, or your skills which you are accomplishing, that is nothing but it is called as procedural memory. Is it clear? So I hope this is very well clear with you, both the topics. We will take a small revision. We did today new topics. Yes, any type of question can be expected to you from this given learned topic. As I already told you that we will be seeing something different things in this 4 lectures, that is yesterday's lecture, today's lecture, and more today's lecture, which can be a part of your teaching aptitude. And yes, you can expect questions from this particular part very well. So as I said, we have studied today 2 topics. One was your ecological system theory, where we studied phi system, microsystem. We studied your concept of mesosystem. We studied exosystem, macrosystem, and chronosystem. Then we went for memory, that is divided into 2 parts, short term and long term. In short term, we do not have any bifurcation. Long term memory is explicit and implicit. Explicit memory, which talks about your episodic experiences or semantic knowledge. Priming memory, which talks about your that is specific exposure, and procedure, it talks about your skills. So that's what we have done today. Okay, and yes, before we end up today's class, please try to understand that all these notes, okay, will be coming to you on your WhatsApp group, or those who are in the WhatsApp group. And yes, to keep your learning going on, make sure that this 2 months you are utilizing maximum to a maximum strength, maximum level, so that you can crack your examination for this upcoming cycle. Yes, that's all for the day. Thank you everyone. See you tomorrow in the next class, that is at 10 a.m. with a new topic of teaching aptitude. Thank you everyone.